From the edge of the Pokrovsk front line, a fascinating new pattern is taking shape, one that's completely invisible to the untrained eye, but keenly read by a unit that almost never appears on camera. We're talking about Ukrainian snipers, and what they're doing now is revolutionizing modern warfare. Here's what's changed. These elite operators are no longer just hunters shooting from a distance. They've evolved into something far more sophisticated: cold, calculating eyes, scanning every single glimmer of Russian movement across the battlefield. And the intelligence coming from this sector reveals something truly remarkable. Whenever Russian motorcycle units speed through the narrow, war-torn streets toward the assault line, here's what's interesting. They're rarely downed by traditional long-range fire. Instead, one motorcycle after another is systematically halted by small, devastatingly precise bursts. We're talking about FPV drone strikes coming from completely unexpected directions, hitting with surgical accuracy. And here's the game changer. Behind many of these lethal attacks is someone who doesn't actually shoot at all. Modern Ukrainian snipers have fundamentally transformed their role. They now act as tactical guides and intelligence nodes. They meticulously map the movements of Russian motorcycle troops, provide real-time coordinates, mark routes with precision, and lock onto patrol patterns with experienced eyes. Their primary target isn't the trigger anymore. It's information itself. The data is the weapon. Once that critical intelligence is transmitted, it's literally only seconds before the actual executor appears. A low-flying kamikaze drone striking a Russian motorcycle before its soldiers can even think about seeking cover. This raises a profound question that's reshaping our understanding of modern combat. Who is actually the deadliest force on the front line? Is it the invisible sniper with years of training, or the tiny autonomous machine in the sky that moves according to the coordinates provided by the human eye? The answer might surprise you. It's both, working as one unified system. In August 2025, the defense line between Pokrovsk and Mirnohrad suddenly witnessed one of the most mysterious and technically impressive shots fired in the entire Ukrainian war. Picture this: a bullet traveled nearly 4 kilometers, an almost impossible distance by any standard, through a building window, striking 2 Russian soldiers at once with pinpoint accuracy. But here's what's even more astonishing. Claims from the field suggested this wasn't just the work of an elite sniper operating alone. This was the work of a much larger, more sophisticated combat network operating in perfect synchronization. The shooter reportedly belonged to the Privid, or Ghost Unit, a name that's becoming legendary among Ukrainian forces. His weapon? A 14.5mm Snipex Alligator, which isn't simply a rifle in the traditional sense. This is a long-range platform typically reserved only for heavy targets and extreme distance engagements. However, what was most surprising wasn't the bullet itself or even the incredible distance. It was how the shot was aimed and executed. According to circulating reports from the battlefield, the shooter's eye wasn't just relying on a telescope mounted on the end of the rifle. No, this was far more advanced. The targeting system also incorporated a drone hovering in the sky and an AI-powered device that calculated distance, wind speed, air pressure, and even the target's movement patterns in a matter of seconds with incredible precision. It was as if an extra brain in the air was mapping out the perfect shot trajectory even before Ghost's finger pulled the trigger. All that remains afterward is one profound question that echoes across modern military thinking. Is this still called a sniper shot in the traditional sense? Or are we witnessing the beginning of a completely new era where a single bullet is actually the result of an entire combat ecosystem, human skill, artificial intelligence, and autonomous systems working in perfect unison? In the sectors around Pokrovsk, where troop movements are often rapid, chaotic, and wildly unpredictable, a fascinating dynamic is emerging from detailed field reports. Russia reportedly continues to send small infiltration teams and agile light motorcycle units to actively scout for gaps in Ukrainian defenses, probing for weaknesses. But here's what makes the Ukrainian response so effective. Whenever such enemy operations occur, Ukraine's counter-response is almost never isolated or singular. Every FPV drone flight, every careful infantry step approaching an enemy position, it all depends on one critical element working silently and invisibly on the front lines. That element? an experienced observer who can spot the most subtle changes in the battlefield environment before anyone else even notices something's amiss. This is precisely where the role of the modern sniper undergoes a dramatic transformation. They're no longer simply precision shooters waiting for the perfect kill shot. They've become what military analysts are now calling space guardians, operators who ensure the entire tactical system behind them can operate smoothly, safely, and without disruption. Behind the shattered ruins of buildings and whatever remaining vegetation survives in the war zone, snipers form what amounts to a critical first line of defense, often completely invisible on tactical maps or surveillance cameras. They don't suppress the enemy with heavy, sustained fire. They don't move in large, noticeable groups that could give away positions. Instead, they maintain a safe distance, control the tempo of operations, and most importantly, maintain operational space for drones and supporting troops to do their work effectively. While drone operators remain intensely focused on their screens, tracking rapid movements on the ground in real time, snipers possess the ability to see further and deeper into the battlefield. They read subtle changes in bush lines, detect enemy movement patterns from considerable distances, or spot the telltale flashes that indicate activity brewing in enemy positions. A single brief radio report from an experienced sniper can instantly change the entire pace and direction of an operation, delaying an attack until conditions improve, rerouting forces to avoid danger, or speeding up maneuvers to exploit a sudden opportunity. In many operations across this contested territory, drones serve as the primary execution tool for engaging moving targets or reaching hard-to-access positions. But here's the crucial detail that often gets overlooked. While the drones are actively working their magic, snipers ensure the flanks aren't being exploited by clever enemy forces. They continuously monitor for potential intruders, spot small enemy maneuvers that could distract or endanger the drone operators, and immediately signal any counter threats that emerge. In several key sectors around Pokrovsk, this tactical pattern repeats itself with remarkable consistency. First, snipers lock down and secure the sector. Then, drones move into action. Finally, infantry advances with confidence. Three completely distinct elements, each with their own specialty, but moving as one cohesive force with devastating effectiveness. There's a crucial part of this operation that often goes completely unnoticed by the public and even by military observers. When a Ukrainian unit carefully approaches a position that was previously hit by a drone attack, snipers are working overtime to ensure the path forward is completely clear of threats. They monitor vulnerable points with hawk-like attention, buy precious time for the infantry to move safely, and ensure no new threats emerge suddenly from unexpected angles. Simply put, the drone clears the initial path and eliminates the primary target, but the sniper keeps everyone moving behind it, protected from secondary threats and ambushes. It's a beautiful, deadly dance of coordination. Therefore, every distinctive sound of precision fire heard echoing across the Pokrovsk lines isn't just a random sign of battle or an isolated engagement. More often than not, it's a signal that a much larger, more complex operation is underway behind the scenes. And when a single, carefully calculated shot is fired from hundreds of meters away, sometimes it's not the end of the story at all. It's actually the beginning of a series of tactical moves that were calculated and planned long in advance. Ukrainian observers on the ground have noticed something striking. The most dangerous threats don't always roar, they whisper. And lately, that whisper isn't coming from grinding tank treads or rumbling BMPs. It's the faint hum of Russian trail bikes weaving like ghosts through the trenches around Pokrovsk. Why motorcycles? Why trade armored protection for total exposure? The answer lies in the brutal reality of the front lines. Motorcycles give them speed, not safety, explains a battlefield analyst tracking Russian tactics. In terrain shredded by artillery, narrow, cratered lanes where tanks become sitting ducks for drones and ATGMs, agility beats armor. So Russian forces adapted. Fast-moving motorcycle teams that slip around defenses, exploit blind spots, and strike before anyone can react. It's guerrilla warfare reimagined for the drone age. But that speed comes at a devastating cost. One wrong turn down a watched corridor, 1 second too slow spotting an overhead drone, one sniper shot from distance, and it's over in an instant. Motorcycles offer zero protection against shrapnel, steady-handed snipers, or FPV drones that can pivot mid-pursuit. Yet the tactical payoff is undeniable. Exceptional mobility in impossibly tight spaces where armor can't follow, and a fraction of the cost of losing expensive armored vehicles. The result? A high-stakes game of cat and mouse playing out in real time. Russian bikes screaming across the front, engines howling, while Ukrainian observers track every move with laser focus. It's warfare stripped to its nerve-wracking core, silent vigilance that can explode into violence in seconds.